Hi, everyone. Again, this is Caroline with the Expat Interviews Thriving Abroad, where we go all across the globe to meet fascinating and amazing people that are doing really wonderful things in this world. And I am just bursting at the seams with excitement because today I get to share with you, and she's going to share with you her awesome story of life abroad. And after you hear this story, if you do not buy a plane ticket and head to her country, I don't know what to tell you, but you will. You're going to. Welcome Joli Moniz from Cabo Verde. And you are going to just share your amazing story with us. Cabo Verde is a country that we really don't hear a lot about as far as maybe the possibility of relocating or moving there. And there's so much to share, but hopefully we can just get everyone all worked up and excited about you and about your beautiful country. So we have to start from the beginning. You are actually an expat, kind of an expat repat kind of thing. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. Where are you from originally?
Okay, I was born in Providence, Rhode Island, but left at like 6 months old, lived in New York a bit with my parents, and mostly raised in Connecticut. But I also did spend quite a few years as an adult back in New York.
So you're a New Yorker.
Connecticut, New Yorker, yeah, both.
Wow. So how, so your parents are from Cape Verde?
Originally, well, their roots. They were also born in the States, in Providence, in a small Cape Verdean community, Cape Verdean American community.
Okay.
They're second generation Cape Verdean American. I am third generation, because on both sides of my great-grandparents were the ones to be born in Cabo Verde on 3 different islands, Fogo, Brava, and Santo Antão, and emigrated to the States back in the day, like late 1800s, early 1900s.
Oh,
because yeah, there were Cabo Verde suffers, or used to more so in the past, from periodic droughts, which also triggered, of course, famines. It was a rough life, and people would leave just because they had to, just to survive, but almost always with the hope of coming back home.
So how long have you been living there now?
9 happy years.
9 years. Had you been going back and forth as a child?
Great question. Thankfully, my parents brought us back for the first time when I was 15. And for me, it changed everything. It was only a vacation, but I remember like tearing up when we landed in an island of Sol. And I just was very much aware of the fact that like this is where my family was from. These are my roots. And it was a surreal feeling. It was the most beautiful, magical time. I cried when I had to leave, made good friends. So did my sister. And I have 2 sisters, but we would come back occasionally over the years. As like a teenager, a young adult in college, young adult after college, but always, unfortunately, just for vacation. 2 weeks or so. Always a ball, never wanted to leave. Always had the plan of coming back home. Yeah, especially to learn the language, because growing up as a 3rd generation Cape Verdean, I only had certain words and phrases around the house. The culture was heavy in my household with the art, the music, the food, and again, some phrases, but we weren't fluent. My grandparents were the last ones to speak fluently. So I always had that plan in the back of my head, like one day I'm gonna go do a sabbatical like my dad did, or 6 months of summer, something to be surrounded by my culture and learn the language.
So the official language is Portuguese. And is there a Creole aspect to it? There is, okay. So is that what you spoke at home, or you were?
Yes, in the house, the words and phrases were all Creole.
Yeah. Okay, and that's
what I wanted to learn, not the Portuguese.
Yeah, sure. I could imagine that's the real language, right?
Exactly. That's what everyone speaks. That's what matters on the ground.
Right. So we don't know a whole lot of, I assume that many people don't know a whole lot about this beautiful place because it's kind of tucked out away from Africa, even though it is a part of Africa. But now you're there 9 years, and this is your home, and living there is, can you just describe what a day-to-day life would be like living there?
Ooh, okay. Well, it depends on what you do for a living, of course, and what island you live on. Each island is unique. And on each island, it depends. Are you in the city? If there is a city on that island, are you in a village? Are you in the countryside? Me personally, I live in Praia, the capital city. And it's still a very small city though. Because of my lifestyle, and I'm an entrepreneur, so I kind of create my own schedule. Every day is different. Whether it's, sitting here doing a video call, an interview, talking with prospective clients who want to come travel here, running errands, traveling to other islands for work. It depends. Every day is different, and I love that about it. But I have to say, like, no matter what time of the year, no matter what job you do here, the lifestyle is such that you have so much more downtime.
Right. So it's more laid back. It's more
so much more laid back. It's island culture.
Yep.
And African culture, and even Portuguese influence culture. So that's like that Latin feel.
Yep.
So 3 times laid back. Sometimes a little too relaxed, too laid back. But the culture, it puts family and health first. So even if I had a typical corporate job at a bank, say, if I had to run an errand or go pick up a prescription, go get my child early from school, go to the bank for 2 hours in the middle of the day, it's pretty flexible for the most part.
Now,
Yeah.
you work in tourism, you have an agency, and you assist others to come and check out that beautiful place. Also, you do help people that may have an interest in relocating. Is there a large expat community there in Cabo Verde?
On 2 of the islands, the touristic islands of Sal and Boa Vista, yes, but they're European. For example, Sal has a lot of British expats. The island that I live on doesn't have that many. There's some that are here for government jobs, maybe for 2 years at a time, NGOs, things like that, but not many Americans at all. Not many.
Why do you think is that? Why? What is your thought on that?
I honestly think that although Cabo Verde has become more known in recent years, I've seen a huge shift in my 9 years because of social media in large part. We're still very unknown. We're still, Europeans have discovered us. We're considered the African Caribbean to Europeans, especially those touristic islands. But America still doesn't know much about us. I studied African American studies, and Cabo Verde is actually the first port of the African, the triangular slave trade. Huge in terms of world history, African history, American history, but only like 2 textbooks mention Cabo Verde. So forever, we've pretty much been forgotten. And honestly, that's been a good thing in a lot of ways. But now people are learning about us. But still, a lot of Americans think, okay, let's say, when they think of, okay, where could I live abroad? They're still talking about Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, for the most part. And when they think of Africa, it's what? Ghana, maybe Senegal, but usually Ghana, maybe Tanzania, South Africa, right? We're always forgotten.
Yes, and that's one of the reasons why I was very excited to talk with you about Cabo Verde, because there's so much to this country. There's just so much to it that, like you said, I mean, for the most part, Americans only maybe have heard of Cesara Évora, who's a famous folk cultural singer. I guess you could call Cesara, she was like the Edith Piaf of the French. She was if you want to compare her popularity and her style. But it's a country that more people need to pay attention to kind of look into. And are the requirements, are there visa requirements pretty strict? Or, I mean, if you want to come and check it out.
Yeah, I lucked out as a Cape Verdean descendant. I didn't have to have a visa. I could stay as long as I wanted, come and go without visas, which was a blessing. But if you can't prove that you have roots here, then you do have to renew a visa every 30 days or get an extended visa. The government has a new program they just announced recently. Because of course the pandemic and people realizing that you can work from pretty much anywhere. Remote working is huge now. The government is also trying to, take advantage of that. But I am not yet sure of the requirements. We've helped many clients get citizenship, clients of CV descendancy, or their spouses, but we're still working on the residency process, getting clarification. Because nothing here is black and white, and nothing is easy. But that's okay. My team and I will figure it out. We'll keep pounding on doors and we'll go back as many times as we need to the registry to figure out the process. We have a lot of support here, so we'll figure it out soon.
That is great. So technically then, if I wanted to come and stay, say 6 months, I would just pay every 6 months. Is there like a renewal fee for several months until?
There is actually a remote working program.
You do have a remote,
year.
Okay.
Yes, we do. In the beginning, it was a little disorganized. We had a few clients try to go through the process, but now they've worked out the kinks. So we do have that. And it's an amazing place to be work from. Of course, the weather all year round is beautiful. Our rainy season lasts 2 months and it's not really rainy.
And it's not really rainy. Wow.
So most of the year it's not humid. There's always a gentle ocean breeze. And the infrastructure in most places is there. So you can have high-speed Wi-Fi.
Right. And so what is the population on the main island, would you say? Is it about how many people?
Okay, the total country is about 550,000 now. This island, I believe, has about, I have to ask one of my guides, maybe 200,000.
Okay, that's good. Just to have an idea, more or less. So it's not a crowded, all, cramped in kind of a place. There's plenty of space to move around and enjoy.
A lot of empty space, a lot of land, a lot of open air. I mean, imagine some islands have like 6,000 people. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I guess too, it depends on what you're looking for. I mean, for someone that is just looking for a really chill place to just enjoy nature, just enjoy being, you would want to stay in a place like that as opposed to a hustle and bustle, lots of people everywhere. And I don't know. And if you have, concerns about the virus, then, that might even be better for you because that's less, chance of you getting, into around too many people at once. So tell us about your agency. When did you start it, and what can we look to you for? Information on what?
Okay. First, how it started. I had been here for several months, with my plan to stay about a year, and you see how that went. But several months into my stay, I had so many visitors come, people thinking I was only here for a year, they'd take advantage, come stay with me. And one visitor who went to my same high school mentioned, she came twice, by the way. She's not of Cape Verdean descent, she's actually of Caribbean descent. Came like, I think February, and then again in like March or April, because she loved it so much. And saw that I enjoyed showing off the country, and gave her an authentic experience, and just put the bug in my ear that this actually could be a career. And I realized, I mean, it pulls together everything I'd ever done in past 2 careers and everything that I love doing. And so that spring I started promoting. I started using my photography to share photos of Cabo Verde on social media, started putting together a couple of packages. And it was slow for a while. It was really slow, but little by little it grew thanks to word of mouth. And I didn't actually make it an official company, founded until that August, I think August.
Is the dollar used officially in freely, I should say, in
Not at all.
Okay.
You have to convert it to the Cape Verdean Skudu.
Okay.
Or on the 2 touristic islands, you can also use the euro. I like the escudo.
Yeah, the escudo. What is the exchange rate? Is it,
Because the dollar undulates, it can change a little, but right now I think it's about $1 is about 92 escudos.
okay, okay. So,
And
so.
but how far does that go, right? What is that getting?
What is that? Yeah,
Right.
what can I get?
Well, because we are islands, certain things are pricier. For example, import cars, technology is not that bad anymore. The cars for sure, because you have to import them. Things like that are pricier, but groceries, a lot of, items are grown in the countryside, and so they're affordable. Labor help, if you need an assistant, if you need domestic help, if you want someone to cook, help with your kid, very affordable. Rent, extremely affordable. To buy a home now is not as cheap at all, actually. Depends on where. It can be very cheap. It can be $500,000. You want a big penthouse, ocean view.
What could rental be? What could a rental run me?
Rent can be, and this is in a pricier location. You could get a nice place, 1 bedroom, maybe for like $350,000, $325,000.
No way.
Yes way.
Wow.
You can get a 2-bedroom perhaps with a nice big veranda, safe neighborhood in the capital city, maybe $400 a month. You could also pay $1,000, $1,500. Like, it depends on what you want to.
Right. But if I was on a budget,
if you want a budget,
wow, I can
could live
budget.
well.
Yeah. That is so awesome. That is so amazing. There's so many things that I would love to ask you, but I would prefer that people maybe reach out to you and get more, because it's not the same. Like when you hear it, like somebody in a YouTube video talking about, oh, it's this, it's that. But when you get it, the info from somebody who's on the ground, who's actually there experiencing it and knows the culture, I guess is the word I want to say. They know the culture. They're not just passing through, right? It's a big difference. So
knows it and loves it.
Yeah. What would one thing or a few things, what would you say to someone who was interested in visiting your beautiful country? What would you tell them?
I would say, of course, reach out. If they want to do a little research, that's fine too, but we'd be happy to help them. I'd talk to them and get a sense of like what they'd want to experience. Because Cabo Verde can offer any kind of experience from, nature, adventure. You can do like mountain hiking. You can climb a live volcano. You can do scuba diving, horseback riding, the typical nature or adventure. You could do nightlife. We have rich nightlife, partying, dancing, great music.
What is the typical music like there?
Oh, okay.
That's Caribbean, African.
It's more, it depends. We have many genres. So you were familiar with Cesaria. That was like mostly Morna, which is slow, romantic, or mournful music, influenced by the Portuguese fado. But there's also like Funana, which is high tempo, more African influenced.
Like the Afrobeats
here.
Like
we love Afrobeats. We create Afrobeats, absolutely. We have Kizomba, big Kizomba scene. So very sensual partner dancing. We have mid-tempo, coladera. We have, it runs the gamut. Traditional Fogo music, like so many types for this tiny country. It's incredible how many types of music and how beautiful. This is a country that has like a high population of musical talent. I'm rare in that I don't have any, but both sisters sing and have musical talent. Here, politicians also play instruments or sing. It's
kidding. Oh, that
should be studied. Yeah.
How can we get a hold of you, Joli? How do we connect with you?
Okay, well, I have 2 websites.
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook pages. Let's see, the best would maybe be Instagram, Avontade Tours, Avontade, which means like Fica Vontade, feel at home, feel welcome. VONTADE Tours, or I have websites, Avontade-tours.com or Avontade-services.com.
We'll leave a link below, or the
Okay,
link.
that's easier.
Yeah,
That's
I just
easier.
wanted you to do a little bit of work, but we're gonna leave the links below so that folks can connect with you. It's been such a pleasure talking with you, and we
Likewise.
haven't even touched the surface of this beautiful place, but perhaps again in the future we'll do more focus. But I just wanted people to get a little preview of this beautiful country, know that it exists, know that there are places, beautiful paradises in the world. And oh, the last thing I want to ask before we go,
Yeah.
from, let's say, the distance from New York to Cabo Verde, how long of a travel would it be? Just for those that are wondering, how do I get there?
Sure. Okay. Well, as soon as our national airline, Cabo Verde Airlines, returns to flights, and they're saying this spring, out of Boston, it could be 6 hours plus, and you're here. You land in Cabo Verde in Praia. Or right now, currently, there are 3 major airlines that will fly via the Azores or Portugal, Lisbon. And so it's like 5 hours, a quick stop, and then another maybe 3.5. Not bad to get to Africa, not bad at all.
Yeah,
And you don't, before COVID, you didn't need any vaccinations, so you don't need any others. You don't need a visa to stay under 30 days. So I say Cabo Verde is like Africa light. We're easy, manageable.
So I don't need to get a visa. I just buy my ticket and show up, and I can stay up to 30 days.
Exactly, with a negative test.
Okay, so you do
can
have to
stay
have
up
a
to
negative
30
test.
days.
Okay. Okay.
And if
so
you want to
that's
stay
really-
longer, my company can help you.
You can help with that. That's important, because I don't
Absolutely.
think anybody's only going to want to go there for 30 days. They're just they want to ride it out.
It happens
Ticket.
all the time, Caroline.
can
They
imagine.
come and they want to stay, they extend, they return in a month, they buy property because they want to have a second home here. It's a beautiful thing to see.
I'm so looking forward to being
Yay.
able to check it out. And thank you so much
Come
again
visit.
for sharing your little piece of paradise with us. We'll talk soon.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you.